All right, Virgo, so you're not going to be able to hide anymore. And what's happening now, you're not going to be able to control either. But it's not necessarily a bad thing here. So, from the Halloween Oracle, Skull of Light, Illumination, and then from Hidden Realms, the Horse King, Assistance and Control, and it did show up as a challenge. Now, the Skull of Light, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful card. It's saying that it is time to open yourself up fully to the clarity of bright illumination. Allow yourself to be seen, to see, and to act upon what is shown to you. The time has passed for hiding, for pretending, and for swallowing our discomfort by accepting the status quo when it really doesn't suit us. So, that kind of clarity and illumination is coming to you, but you're not going to be able to control anything right now. With the Horse King as a challenge, it's saying that keeping control of everything around you is counterproductive. My God, if I could talk right, and exhausting. It says you may lose an important opportunity if you insist on being stubborn. This is basically saying that you need to open up to assistance, right? But you can't hide from things that need to be dealt with, especially if it's situations that you feel like you have no control over. All right, Virgo. Here's your overall. The Six of Pentacles. Now, definitely, equality, right? Making sure that what you're giving into something, you're getting the equal amount back. This could be about money, but again, assistance, right? And needing to be open for assistance. Some of you may be receiving that assistance, but I don't know. This one is different to me. When I look at the Arcanum, I feel like handouts, but I don't really feel like that here, even though we've got the hands, because they're underneath the scale, and it's like you're waiting for, someone to drop that last pentacle there to make things even and balanced, right? But we'll see here. Now, in the past, the Ten of Cups. So in the past, happiness, right? The happily ever after. But the only way to continue that is equality, right? Equal give and take. We could be talking about family situations, a family member who may need assistance, or you may be reaching out to a family member and helping or asking for help. It's either you helping someone or them helping you. I get a little iffy when I look at the Ten of Cups as the past, just because I would rather see it in future conditions, because if we're talking about assistance here, how is that affecting overall happiness, right? In the present, the Chariot. So possibly dealing with movement, travel here, needing to take control over where things are going, right? But again, it could be counterproductive for some of you, right? But, we'll see here. Like the Chariot is more, though, about getting control over the opposing forces that are going on within you, right? Getting the dark and the light going in the right direction here instead of constantly fighting each other. So this is self-control, right? But it also indicates travel. So you could be dealing with a family member that's traveling, or you're needing to travel and reach out for assistance, right? I mean, it could be that simple, but we'll see. Very nice. Very, very nice. So future conditions, the sun. All of this looks good. All of this looks really good. With the sun, right, this is a feeling rejuvenated here. Having the sun shining on you, seeing everything clearly, there's definitely the illumination that's happening, But family does come up again, right? But all of it looks really good. I mean, even if this isn't having to do with a family situation, you may be traveling to, a place where you had that kind of happiness with the Ten of Cups here, making sure things are nice and equal and balanced here. Or for some of you, it could be just like taking out a loan here or saving money. But, it's not really the Four of Pentacles, though, right? To travel here to where the sun is going to shine on you, But all of it looks really good coming out. And even with the sun being there, you're fine. Like, you're fine. I swear, Virgo, your readings, you like ride this high and low, right? And things feel really good right now. But I do think that some of you are going to have to actually travel. you know, to this place where you're being led to go, right? Because with the sun, sense of self and direction. Oh, is that what that's about? Wow, yay, thank you. God damn it, I needed a good one. The Ace of Cups is your best path to follow, okay? You know, you only ever get what you put into something, right? Like, that's all you're going to get back is what you put into it. So you are definitely going to have to put in something here in order to realize this Ace of Cups. But damn, man, that's perfect. New love, new spiritual connection, right? New beginning for you that is going to continue this overall happiness, you know? And things may be moving in a better direction, though, too, with the Chariot, right? A situation that finally gets under control once you start giving to it, or somebody else does, you know? But that's only after, like, you let go of trying to control the situation. It's funny, but it's perfect, right? I would take that Ace of Cups and fucking run with that shit. Hell yeah. In your environment, okay. Okay. And again, the past, right? Like, in childhood and family and memories and things like that. There's definitely a new beginning that's right there for you, right? You know, with the Six of Pentacles, either way, this is you needing to be open to the new opportunity, open to assistance, but then, you know, you need to be able to give, though, too, right? In order to make the most of this. But the Six of Cups being in your environment, you know, this could be like traveling to, you know, a place from your childhood here where, you know, there's a lot of happy memories, a lot of good things, right? Doing some reconnecting with family, which is possible. I mean, all of it looks really good. But if we're looking back at the past, that's continuing for sure. Especially with, you know, the Ace of Cups being your best path to follow. Yay! Yay! This is good. This is really good. I don't think that you're clinging on to the past. I think that, you know, for you, right now, it's easy to kind of let the past go. You're looking at the good. I mean, that's all that's coming through to you right now. Yay, Virgo. Easy peasy. Oh my God, the fuck? Oh my goodness. Your hopes and your fears, the devil. So, there is something about this that may not have been so good before, I feel like, with the Six of Cups being underneath this. But, you know, the fear there is that, you know, we're doing something based on temptation and not really what is accurate to the past, but the way that you're seeing it is overall happiness. Now, regardless, though, with the sun being there, right, like, those negative things are not going to take hold, right? But there's a reason why you're focusing in on that. Is that what you're expecting to receive, though? And that's the other thing. You know, if we're talking about a person, you know, there's definitely a new beginning, a new connection to be had here with the Ace of Cups. But there are some issues with them. And I think that, especially with the Chariot being in the present moment and looking at the Six of Cups, you may be looking at them hoping that they have gotten over their demons, so to speak. You know, because the fear there is that it affects you, that you get involved in a situation here where the same, like, you know, negative things are continuing here, you know, or they're continuing to act in, you know, a way that is not healthy, bad habits, right? Bad patterns. You know, now if everything's going good, I can understand why some of you may be looking at this going, yeah, I don't know. You know, this may be the devil tempting me here, but it's not. It's not. Wow, Virgo, why did it have to be so bad? You know, why couldn't it have been minor here? But that is a strong indicator of what you've dealt with, though. With the devil being there, you know, and maybe this is you getting control over, you know, some things here, right? But I don't know. I see Virgo as the type to go out of their way to help other people, you know, which may be why we're looking at the Six of Pentacles, you know. But I can understand why you're fearing the devil, though. Oh, boy. All right. And then coming out the Nine of Pentacles, and that's not bad. So with the Sun being there, you know, it's okay for you to give assistance, but don't expect to have control over the way things are headed. You still need to remain some level of independence here with the Nine of Pentacles coming out. You know, especially if you're seeing things clearly with the Sun. You know, I mean, there are so many different situations that can be happening here with you traveling, you know, back to, you know, someplace that has like memories for you. With the Six of Cups, you may be traveling to assist somebody who is having a difficult time. You know, I mean, whatever the case is here, the whole thing is I think that you're trying to get back to a place where there is this happiness. And there's definitely a new beginning, a new start to be had. You know, the devil's definitely an issue though. But for you, you're going to have to keep some level of independence here. Like, I feel like you can only give so much to help. Okay? Like, you know, you can't, you have the resources. We'll say that. Okay? You have the ability to help. But, you know, you can't expect to control this. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with the Horse King coming up and then looking at the Sun, the Chariot and the Sun. But you need to keep your independence in order to be able to enjoy the abundance of this connection as long as it's going good. That I will say. The Six of Swords. With the Ten of Cups and looking at the Nine of Pentacles, you may have had to move on from this situation where there could have been a lot of happiness. But, you know, again, the devil, that's a really strong indicator of some shit that happened. But you moved on. You have your own independence here. But now, you know, you have somebody coming through here with the King of Cups and with the Chariot. I think it's you going the distance here. And I think that they may have had some issues, whether this is male or female, but they may be trying to get control over their own issues, but you are willing to go out of your way to help. You know, it's almost like you feel like, yeah, you know, I can see that you're trying to make a change. I can help. I can assist. Because if it means a new beginning in the form of the Ace of Cups, yeah, right? But you can't fix people, right? Now with the Empress, you know, definitely things can be going better here. Things can get better. You may feel really good. You'd be able to enjoy your life, right? And enjoy this new beginning. But you're going to have to remain independent. You're going to have to see that clearly, especially with the Sun. You know, you don't want to get caught back up in a situation that just goes right back to, you know, what you had to move on from the first place, in the first place. You know, but I don't feel bad about it. I actually feel like this is a good reading, especially if some of you are helping somebody out who possibly had a hard time getting their shit together, you know? And as far as like family members, this could be somebody who, you know, left and they're at a distance and they're coming back, right? And there's a new relationship happening. They're getting over some shit, you know, and you're helping them out. It's not bad. It's not bad. With the Empress being there, yeah, I don't so much feel like this is going to have to do with like pregnancy or anything like that. Or even, you know, another female figure. I feel like that's you. Especially with the Nine of Pentacles, you know, being what's there and the Empress clarifying that. You have a lot of abundance in your life. You need to be able to enjoy that. You know, you can't give up everything to help somebody else. They have to be at least willing to help themselves. And initiative, right? Like, it's not just you, you know, especially if you're dealing with another person here, it's about them needing to take initiative as well in order to, you know, have that nice smooth transition. You know, just accept things, accept how, you know, things are, accept that you are limited in what you are able to do if you're looking to help somebody else. But, you know, acceptance is not accepting bad circumstances here, you know. This is accepting the positive and helping and using that to help with this transition, right? But there does need to be initiative, but I feel like that's on both sides. Love makes the difference. Love can help heal past hurts and provide a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. There you go. Right? But the only way that that security and the healing of past hurts is going to happen is when you get to know each other. You know, taking some time to learn, you know, what it's going to take here to meet each other's needs, right? But it's both sides here, especially if you're dealing with a person who has issues, But there's definitely a new start for you, a new start for the person you may be dealing with, right? But just make sure that you don't give everything away, right? Because, there's definitely an opportunity to have a new beginning here, but you need to be able to enjoy your life and enjoy what independence you do have. I do see you, going out of your way to help for some of you, but like I said, there's only so much that you can do, right? But it's not bad, Virgo. It's not bad. You are still having a moment in the sun, though. Regardless of illumination on situations that you can't hide from anymore, I still feel like there's the potential for that happiness to continue, but in a much better way once things are like balanced out,